They've got a 21% win record in South Africa through time. Uh,
Yep.
they struggle in South Africa. It's the worst record they've got touring any country in the world. And their record here is the worst of any team that's played in South Africa more than 20 test matches. So,
Hi guys, Howzit? Welcome trek allemaal to my Afrikaans-speaking followers. Welcome back, anyone else in the world. Yes, you see, you know what time it is. We all know what time it is. The Rugby Championship is back as the Springboks will prepare to defend their title, looking to go back-to-back for the first time in history of the Rugby Championship / Tri-Nations. Lineups have been announced, some adjustments on the last day here, but before we even get into any of that, you guys know, unfortunately, the Fairweather Rugby fan had to sell out. He had to go out and get some sponsorship. So we will be right back after this quick message from the sponsor of today's video.
Tonight's episode of the Fairweather Rugby Fan is brought to you by Ireland going home in the quarterfinals at a Rugby World Cup. It's a sure thing.
Look, I said I would never sell out, but man, the prices of everything these days, man, I had to go out and get some sponsorship. I'm sorry, guys. I know, like, you guys have always wanted me to be real here on the Fairweather Rugby Fan Show, but I mean, bills are bills, man. You got to pay them. So big shout out to our sponsor for today's video. So Joe Schmidt has named his 23-man squad some interesting selections here. We will go through it, give some opinions. We will go through the Springbok selections and give our opinions and some maybe predictions at the end of the video. So a front row consisting of James Slipper, Billy Pollard, and Taniela Tupou will be the front row for the Wallabies. Nick Frost and Will Skelton, the big talk of the week. Skelton Etzebeth. I think we already settled that years ago. Tom Hooper, Fraser McRae, and Harry Wilson captaining the side will be 6, 7, and 8. The turd that just won't flush at number 9. And at 34, 35 years old, James O'Connor, the starting fly half for the Wallabies. Dylan Page and Max Jorgensen will be the left and right wing, respectively. Len Ikital and Joseph Suala-Ihi will be the centers. A very good center combination there. And Tom Wright anchoring it all off at 15. Joe Schmidt has gone with a 6-2 split off the bench this week with Pango Amosa, Angus Bell, and Zane Nongor. No real shocks there coming off the bench. Jeremy Williams, Langy Gleason, and Nick Champion de Crespini. I know how to say it. I'm just butchering it personally. Crespinier? Whatever. What a funny name. But that will be the forward replacements. And Tate McDermott and Andrew Kellaway will be the back replacements. Moving on over, we have a late change with the Springbok roster off the bench, but let's go ahead and start with the starting 15. Salads don't win scrums. Oxenche with Malcolm Marks and Vilko Low will be the front row. Eben Etzebeth, the Boogeyman, and Chipmunk Cheeks Lou de Jager will be our lock pairing starting out this one. Marco van Staden, SCOM getting the start at 6 with Peter Steff to tackle at 7, and our captain, Super Sia Khaleesi at number 8. Speedy Grant Williams will get the start at number 9 with Mean Manny Libok at 10. Kurtley Arenza gets the start at 11. And no Cheslin Colby. We will get Edville van der Merwe getting his first chance to take a crack at a top 10 team in the green and gold at number 14. Damian Dialendi, nursing a bit of a niggle, will be replaced by Andre Esterhuizen with Jesse Creel at 13 and anchoring it all off, the Shark himself, Fossey. A 5-3 split coming off the bench for Rassie Erasmus as Bongi Manombi, the late replacement to Jan Hendrik Vessels, will be Bowen Venter, and the Burger King himself, Labo Kanye. Both him and Edville being able to play at home in front of the Ellis Park crowd. Franco Muster will be the lock/flanker replacement, and the menace at the breakdown, Kwaka Smith, will be the final forward replacement. Veteran Kobus Reinak will be coming off the bench in relief of Grant Williams. Kanan Moody, able to play wing or center, and the number 23 jersey, 10, 12, 15, whatever you want to play him, Damien Falemsa will be the final replacement players. So, look, there seems to be a very large contingent of people that think that the Wallabies are back. And it ain't Australians. It's these guys. Yeah. I've had a lot of them in my inbox on social media saying that the Wallabies will beat the All Blacks this year and they'll beat us. I've said it once, I'll say it again. You beat the worst team in the Rugby Championship. Your all-star team beat a 7th ranked team. You did not discover fire. You didn't reinvent the wheel. You did nothing special. You did what the British and Irish Lions do against Australia. You beat them. Having to start a 35-year-old fly half because you have no depth, having a guy who we hoped had finally flushed down the commode decide he's not sticking around because he wants the honor of playing the Springboks. He's sticking around because they don't have anybody. They don't have anybody. The Wallabies are not good. Now, I know a lot of you seem to think Joe Schmidt is going to fix this. Dave Rennie couldn't fix it. Eddie Jones couldn't fix it. Michael Cheika couldn't fix it. And he took him to a fucking World Cup final. For those people north of the equator that don't understand how shit works, union is dead in Australia. It is a league country now. It is an AFL country. They've lost a Super Rugby team. Their biggest names don't want to play there. This whole idea that you think that they're on the up because they beat you in a third and absolutely worthless test is not changing the fact that they won one game last year in the Rugby Championship. And I predict the same this year. They might sneak one past Argentina. They might. They might. But they are not winning at Ellis Park. And this isn't like an overconfident Springbok supporter. The history is there. The roster is there. This is not a team that's lined up to have great success. It's not. They just don't have it. This is not just because they beat your all-star team in a third game, they're not back. I had predicted long ago Joe Schmidt would not make it to 2027 as their head coach, and I'm 100% correct. He won't. Now, he'll be the director of rugby. We'll see how long that lasts. For those of you that didn't grow up on the Rugby Championship, this has been Australia for the last decade plus. They had a good run in 2015, and they've pretty much been this. They haven't won the Bledisloe Cup in over 20 years. They haven't won in South Africa in 14, 15. This is not a team that's going to come in, and you're going to find out the truth real quick. You beat a 7th place team, British and Irish Lions fans. You beat a 7th ranked team. You beat a team you typically beat. If you look at the history of the tour, you typically beat Australia. You didn't reinvent anything. You didn't discover anything. You didn't do anything momentous. You beat a team you typically beat. Now you flip the coin over to the Springboks. We'll go through some of the guys that I kind of like, how can you do this without Ruan Nortje? He's been so boss. He's been great, but I get it. This is an old pairing that we are used to with Eben. Eben looked really bad in the last game he played, but he also hadn't played in a while. Do I think he still has it? Yes, of course. The most capped Springbok in history demands our respect, and I will give it to him. He might come out there. Do I think the big matchup between him and Will Skelton? No, that was settled years ago. Eben made Skelton his bitch. That's what it was. Okay, that's how it ended. Kicking issues. What do we do if Manny Libok gets in trouble off the tee? Once again, folks, it's not 2022 anymore. We're not going to kick teams to death anymore. That's not how we win games. We're averaging 45 plus points a game now. We're not going to ground and pound and kick threes to win the game. We're going to run the score up on these guys. With the talent we have in the back, we're going to run the score up. Kanan Moody guaranteed will get a try when he comes off the bench. Kirtley is going to do well. Edville will probably get a try. This whole idea we've got to have Andre Pollard. No, we don't. We don't kick teams to death anymore. You look at the 2 games we played last year versus Australia. That game in Perth was a fucking monsoon, and we beat the dog shit out of them with a B squad. This is not a B squad. It's not an A squad. It's not a B squad. This is a good team. On paper, this is a great team. Moving Sia to 8. How do I feel about that? Rassie Erasmus had already discussed this early on. We usually scrum 13, 14 times while he's on the field. I have a personal belief that what's going to happen at scrum time is Sia's going to move onto the side and Peter Steff will move to the back at 8 for his mobility alone. But I could be proven wrong. But on paper, the Wallabies don't have a chance. On history, the Wallabies don't have a chance. Now, am I predicting some momentous blowout? No, I'm going to keep it safe at 25 points. We're going to beat them by 25. But would a 55-10 scoreline be out of the possibility? No, it wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 55-10. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 32-12. That's not what I'm picking, though. I would think more than likely it'll be a 42-15, 42-12, something along those lines. I think that's more of a realistic capacity here. Or we could absolutely blank them. We could put up 50 and they don't score a single point. All are possibilities. I'm just keeping it modest at 25 points. That's my prediction. I do want to go ahead and bring up, look, we've had this discussion on here many, many times. Ellis Park is in, pardon my French to myself of followers, in a shithole neighborhood. It is. And unlike in America, where we have eminent domain, which is a thing here, I think you guys call it something else there. You call it land seizure. Like, we have it here too. It's a different name. It's instead of the government re-expropriating your land for poor people, it's rich people who get the government to take the land for themselves. So we do have it here, guys. We just call it something else. And that's what you do in America if your stadium is in a shithole neighborhood. You look down the road here at AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys. That was like the Mexican ghetto before they put that stadium there. There were a lot of gentlemen's clubs to the south of it. Those are all gone. There were a lot of really, really seedy, like prostitution-filled hotels south of it. Those are all gone because of eminent domain. Look it up. Look it up. If you want something really curious, you should look at the owner of a gentleman's club in Arlington, Texas, who tried to put a hit out on a judge. Yeah, that actually happened because they wouldn't renew his license because they built the stadium there. But with that being said, I know there's going to be empty seats. South Africa, SA Rugby, if you're listening, you want people to continue to support your sport, you want it to grow in your country, make the tickets fucking affordable for everyone. Make the tickets affordable for everyone. My advice, make the tickets affordable for everyone. The All Blacks are playing Ireland later this year here in America. 8 years ago, when they did it, tickets were $65. Tickets are $333 now. You say, well, that's inflation for you. No, that's greed. That's greed. SA Rugby, don't be greedy. You want your sport to grow. You're way behind soccer. People will argue this all the time. No, soccer is much bigger in South Africa. You want to take a bite out of soccer? Make your tickets affordable, folks. Sell out every game, because I don't think this game is a sellout. And Ellis Park has so much history. Look, I don't want to get into a political debate here, but come on. The powers that be in Joburg, clean the fucking neighborhood up. Make it okay to go to games at night. I know my Joburg fans are going to be like, he's 100% correct. Make it a safe fucking neighborhood and watch the stadium fill up. Not just for tests, but for the Lions as well. Clean the goddamn neighborhood up. Come on, Joburg. Come on. You can do this. But obviously, I will see you guys after the game. Let's go Springboks. It's a Springbok Friday here in America and Texas, USA. And I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Cheers, guys.